All right, back in house with Coach Miles Holcomb. And Coach, last week you guys took on a very good Buckhorn team, another scrappy game. You guys come out on the short end of the stick. I'm sure you had a big learning curve you got to do in film, but here's the thing about your region. There ain't no time to lick your wounds or nothing. You turn right back around. You're playing an inter-county rivalry right here that's become a rivalry since you guys went to 6A of Gadsden City. So just what all's transpired, Coach? I know it's moving at lightning speed right now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a tough outcome. Friday night, we felt like we had some momentum in the first half. Got down in the red zone twice. Got stopped on fourth down on the first one, which has been a theme for us. I mean, I think we've had the ball now 8 times this season inside the 4, and came away with nothing. Which.
Did you say 8?
Mm-hmm.
Gee.
So it's one of those situations where you look back and it's just we should have had a better red zone plan. I mean, we should have had a better red zone plan. It is what it is. We tried to fix it a little bit going forward, but we didn't put our kids in a great spot with our red zone plan. And that's something that again, we're trying to we fixed it. It felt like we let one slip away because we didn't have a great red zone plan. And it's really not even the red zone plan. It's just a goal line plan from the 5 to the goal line. We've been pretty good
before, like that many times.
Never. No. This is the first time. And everything gets a little tighter.
A couple times.
We got on the one. We was on the one twice against Host Bluff and got nothing.
I remember that.
On the one twice.
Wow.
We were on the 3 against May Jemison one time, and then got to the 1 and got nothing. So it's been a consistent theme. And we've been able to move the ball well, up and down the field for the most part. It's just we get inside the 5, and then the margin of error shrinks even more, And so we were really good on special teams the other night, though. That was one thing that was a huge focus for us after Jemison, because we were not good after May in special teams. And then I thought our special teams played as good as they played all year the other night. 2 field goals. I thought Cooper did a great job punting it. Our cover teams, whether it was punt, whether it was kickoff, we did a great job covering them because they're a talented football team. Defensively, they're as good a football team as we've seen. Defensively, they're big up front. They can run. Linebackers can run. Their secondary can cover. They came out. They made a couple of adjustments. They put one of their best safeties, one of their best players over at the overhang at nickel, and kind of something that we had to adjust to. But bottom line was we came out in the third quarter. Defense played incredible. Our defense played incredible. We came out in the third quarter. We felt like we had a good plan coming out of halftime. It's 5-0 baseball score at the half. And defense got a safety for the back-to-back weeks. They kind of started clicking a little bit offensively. They kind of got rolling a little bit and kind of hit us back-to-back, went up 14, went up 14-5. We came back, kicked the field goal, made it 14-8. It's one of those situations they're driving. Adriano puts his hat right on the ball late. They're down in the red zone, puts his hat right on the ball, fumbles it into the end zone. And it's just us and the ball. And we go to jump on it, and it just kind of squirts out, and they fall on the end zone. We're on it, right there in the end zone. So they go up 21-8. We come back, 6-play drive, score, make it 21-15. And then defense gets a turnover, same type of deal. Adriano puts his hat right on the ball, fumble it, we pick it up, chance to score, and then they end up picking one off. The safety or the overhang makes an incredible interception. They're late to kind of finish it out, and we just offensively kind of got started a little late. We couldn't run the ball great against their box, but I thought Christian for the most part played pretty good. I thought our receivers played pretty good. They've matured. They've grown up a ton in the last couple weeks. We've had to throw the ball. I mean, you play back-to-back really good teams, and then you got another team that's defensively in the box is very similar. Their secondary this week is probably as good of a secondary, as you're going to see. And I know, like, Zion Gibson he's as good as advertised. He's long, he can run. But I'm going to tell you, Ty Sims is a difference maker.
Yeah, he's really
like,
good.
You better know where he is at all times, And so it's one of those deals. Another great opportunity. I mean, the atmosphere here on Friday is probably going to be incredible.
Nuclear level.
Yeah, it's going to be incredible, So it'll be packed early. I think our kids are excited. We told them yesterday, like, you don't need no special motivation to get excited for this one.
No.
Like, if you ain't got it, like, you need to check your pulse.
Yeah, no, this place will be crazy, man. There ain't no doubt about that. And then, you guys take care of them last year, and then them coming into this game this year, and both of y'all need a win right here. So it's a very, very important game in region standings and bragging rights and everything.
That's
so everything's
right,
on the line. When you look at some of those like red zone problems and some of the other things, do you feel like, I mean, at some point you're starting 6-7, freshmen? I mean, now they're not freshmen no more, but some of that maybe attribute to that, or what do you think?
I don't know. I think it's more me than it is them, honestly. Like, I think it's more, I mean, we get down in the red zone, and we've always been able to, like, everybody wants to rely on just, hey, let's run the football.
Yeah.
Well, like, we got some good
guys in there.
Like, we've got good throw game in the red zone. Like, we do. Like, we have some good throw game stuff in the red zone. And so I think we've probably, just going back and this weekend and kind of watching it, we've tried to do some things, but there's some tendencies there that, like, we just got to do a better job of when we get down in there. They're always going to be 1+. It's one of those situations where, you would love to be able to say, well, we're going to run the quarterback too, but I mean, you're taking a risk, running him, at certain times, especially early in the season. Now we get into a situation now where, like, it's kind of one of those, like, you're in a situation where you're trying to find a way to get in the playoffs, and like you said, like, we both need a win.
Yeah.
And so if you got to run the quarterback, you got to run the quarterback. That's just part of it now. But there's always going to be 1+. So you try to find creative ways to figure out, like, how can we get an extra hat, in the run, but. I think it's more me than it is them. Like, sometimes I think we got some good stuff that's on the call sheet that we've repped, and then we get into a game, and I'm like, I just don't know if I want to call that right here. Like, and I don't know.
Situational.
And I don't know if it's not that, like, you go to your best plays.
Yeah.
And then everybody says you go to your best plays, the ones you trust the most. But really, at the end of the day, like, when it comes to those situations, like, you go to your best players.
Yep.
And so how do you find a way? Like, we just got to be a little more creative in how we find a way to get our guys the ball. Especially in those situations when we need it.
When you're preparing for them from a defensive standpoint, they have a 2-quarterback system. Mm-hmm. They feel pretty comfortable with both, and both of them can spin it. Both of them carry a different skill set. What have you seen when they're 2 quarterbacks?
I mean, they're both good. I mean, they're both good players. They're both somewhat mobile. Kai's a little bit probably more mobile, and just like he's done it long. I mean, he has a little bit more experience. Obviously, you can tell. You can see Sam has, like, his potential's probably through the roof. A big arm. Like, he looks the part, when you think quarterback, and I think both of them do. I think they both preparing for Buckhorn, seeing them.
Yeah.
What they did versus Buckhorn and how they tried to kind of go and attack Buckhorn was different, and so that poses its own set of problems, and then their guys on the perimeter is also talented and athletic, so you can't stop quarterback run wholeheartedly and then leave those guys on the perimeter where they can get loose, and so the biggest thing is, how do we find a way to contain Kai, and then how do we find a way to get Sam kind of off his mark where it makes it a little bit more difficult to make that throw, and so it's, having 2 of them back there that can both go and that have, similar skill sets, but at the same time pretty different. It makes it's a task for our defense, but I think our defensive staff it's early in the week, so I think we've got a good plan initially right now, but as the week goes on, there's sometimes, like, you think you got a good plan till Monday, and all of a sudden Tuesday rolls around and you're like, all right, we're going to have to do something different, so
tweak something,
that's
move
right.
something around. And you got to watch Ty on offense. I've seen them plug him in.
They'll just snap it to him. Especially down in the red zone, they'll just snap it to him and let him go.
Pitch it to him and hitch routes and. Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. And Coach, when you look at this game right here, I mean, this game, How do you get your guys, especially younger guys like you, how do you get them dialed in and like, okay, this is a huge game, but we can't be too juiced up and be out of juice halfway through the first quarter, because it can happen in these big games like this. I mean, you've seen it before. I've seen it before. There's a good medium area.
Yeah.
How do you coach that?
I think we're fortunate where we've been in 2 of these already. We've been in the Hoax Bluff game, we've been in the Etowah game already. And so it's not exactly the same because this is a rivalry and it's in region. And so it's a little bit different. But the biggest thing is making sure that we understand what the main thing is. The main thing is finding a way to get in the playoffs.
Right.
And like it is a necessity for us this week.
Yeah.
Like right now, like we still get to control our own destiny when it comes to the playoffs. And then you're running out of time where now, like, even if you do find a way to win, like, you got to rely on somebody else.
Right.
And so we don't want to be in that situation, but at the end of the day, it's just the next game. And so I think our guys understand, nobody wants to lose. We felt like we let one slip last week. We had a 2-game win streak, kind of right through there, and everybody loves winning. Winning makes everything a little bit better. And so they were disappointed Friday. I was disappointed Friday. I think our staff was disappointed Friday, with the outcome. But there's nothing like getting a chance to prepare for a big game like this, where the atmosphere is going to be electric. You're going to have a chance to play, a rival especially for playoff opportunities. And so I think just making sure they understand, like, it's not any, like, outside of the fact that the two like communities are right here, it's still a football game.
Yeah.
The weather's going to be great, and so it's still a game. There's still things we got to do, like, what is the standard, how do we play, how do we get back in the huddle, all those things. Like, I just think that goes into play when it comes down to this. And again, I think we benefit from the fact that we've already played 2 similar games, against rivals already.
Yeah, here in the county. So yeah, you're right about that. And that's why I'm about to get out of your hair, but because I know you got some work to do. But before I do, I always like to kick it back to you just for final thoughts. Yeah, I mean, again, I think if you want to find a place to sit on Friday night, you better get here early. Yeah. There'll be people here in the morning, trying to put their stuff down soon as this gate opens up, or if they find somebody to open that gate up for them, like, they'll be putting their stuff down on the bleachers. Yeah, there'll be people here. For the May Jemison game, there was people here, trying to get in the gate at like 6:30 in the morning, like, if the gate was open so they can put their stuff down on our side. Yeah, like, it's crazy. So, that's a good problem to have. It is a good problem to have. There's no doubt, and so it'll be fun. It'll be a great atmosphere again. Looking forward to seeing everybody out here, and looking forward to compete against another quality football team. So should be exciting. It should be fun. Coach, appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yes, sir.